weed, marijuana, the grass. Welcome to my review of The Gentleman, the new movie by Guy Ritchie, most known for Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, I think it's called, Snatch, the Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr., the 2019 Aladdin film, and King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, as well as The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Now, Guy Ritchie is a director that I think is pretty hit or miss. I haven't seen Snatch, which I've heard is just delightful, or Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. So maybe those are great. However, the Sherlock Holmes films I think are okay at best. Aladdin I liked, but like barely. It's probably because I'm not super fond of the original animated one. Like, I think it's good, but not like great. So I was fine with it being remade. King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, I thought was pretty bad. And I did not like The Man from U.N.C.L.E. either. So going into this, I was a little worried. I was like, this probably is not going to be super hot. I'm probably not going to like this. However, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty great. It's a lot of fun. It reminds me of things. It reminds me of like the stylization of Sherlock Holmes in a way, fused with like Kingsman in some capacity, but also like the Ocean's films a little bit. It just feels like a fun action crime film, kind of all put in together. And it has some really, really fun storytelling. The storytelling is all done through like flashbacks, like somebody actually telling a story. It's Charlie Hunnam, who's like best known for King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, and I think he's in Children of Men. He's also in The Lost City of Z. He's the main character. That movie's fantastic, and he's amazing in it. So I was really excited to see him in this. It's him and it's Hugh Grant talking to each other. And Hugh Grant's like telling him the story of something that happened because he's like a private eye. And he's like, listen, I got to tell you this, and then you got to pay me a bunch of money. And Hugh Grant is an amazing character actor. It's hilarious because the last thing I saw him in was, I think, Paddington 2, where he's like the main villain fighting a bear. And it's amazing. And then this movie, he says cunt like every 5 seconds. And it's brilliant. Everyone in this movie is like hilarious. They're all like bad people, but it's fun to watch. And I really, really like it when a movie can achieve that. Like, I had a smile on my face the entire time. Matthew McConaughey's in it, and he's like playing Matthew McConaughey, but like just going really hard in all capacities possible. He's just going for it. So I think it's great. And I think the character really matches his like personality really well. Colin Farrell's in it as like a coach for like MMA fighters kind of thing. And he's fucking hilarious in it as well. Charlie Hunnam's and Hugh Grant are probably my favorite characters, and they're probably the strongest. But like Michelle Dockery's in it as well, and she's delightful. And then Henry Golding, which I really like seeing him in more stuff. I really enjoyed him in Crazy Rich Asians. And then he was also in Last Christmas, which I thought was pretty decent, and I thought he was really good in that. So, just like every one of the main characters in this movie is a delight to watch. And I had a smile on my face the entire time. The action's pretty good. It's pretty well choreographed. It's stylized. It's not like super well shot, but it's stylized enough to make up for that. But really, my favorite part is the storytelling. It's jumping around, but it's really easy to follow. It's not super hard to like guess what's going to happen, but it doesn't take away from like the thrill ride going on. You see a bunch of the elements from the very end of the movie right at the beginning. And I love movies that can competently tell a story that just goes like this with its timeline. And I thought The Gentleman did it better than most films I've seen doing the same thing of recent. There's some really good music in the movie as well. Not at all parts, but there's some really good music. Most of the shot composition is really strong. Like, I really liked pretty much all the shots in the film, except some of the fight scenes weren't super great. And there's one scene where Matthew McConaughey and Charlie Hunnam are in, like, a car driving, and it looks pretty bad. It looks pretty green screened in, which is unfortunate, because it's a great, like, scene besides that. Most of the scenes in it are just, like, pretty great. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, and I don't even really want to talk about it a whole lot, because I really want people to see this, especially in theaters, because, like I said, there's some really nice stylization in a ton of the shots, and a ton of the scenes, and the storytelling is delightful. Hugh Grant is delightful. This movie's delightful. I love watching... You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of... This might just be because Colin Farrell's character reminds me a lot of the character in that. But it reminds me of In Bruges, which if you haven't seen, you should go watch. It has Colin Farrell. He's a lot nicer in this movie, but it feels like if they took the character of In Bruges and put him in different circumstances and made him like a nicer person, it would become that. Like if he had been on a different path where he became good, it feels like that. But yeah, I was really surprised with this movie. Guy Ritchie really knocked it out of the park with this one. It's not going to be like my favorite movie of the year. It's not even like my favorite right now, but I thoroughly enjoyed pretty much all aspects. The ending's fantastic. And there's some really fun like gun stuff. And it's really nice because guns... there are not a lot of guns in the UK. So when they do bring out guns, it's like, oh, fuck. But honestly, the star of the film was Charlie Hunnam. I know it's like marketed that Matthew McConaughey is the star, but Charlie Hunnam's pretty much the main character. And there's this scene where he's in an apartment and it's like super tense while remaining pretty funny as well. And his performance in it is fantastic. It's the best scene in the film. He has like a super menacing presence that I was not expecting from him. Because I think he's a great actor from the other stuff I've seen, but I didn't realize he was this versatile. And it even makes... It's even different from like how he acts for the rest of the film. Like it's he's versatile even in the same role. His character changes his dynamics quite a lot. And it all feels... realistic. Like the film is grounded in a sense of realism I wasn't expecting from such a kind of goofy film. Like it's pretty goofy, but most of the characters are grounded in a sense of realism that I wasn't expecting from them, because most of them are super fucking goofy. So props to fucking the team that made this movie, because I wasn't expecting much. I thought it was going to be okay, like most Guy Ritchie films that I've seen. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's my favorite Guy Ritchie film, like, by far. And I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Great movie. You should watch it. A lot of fun. Eat some popcorn, all that jazz. There's some really, really funny moments in this. It's mostly to do with Hugh Grant's character. Hugh Grant's character is so funny. And so is Colin Farrell's character. Anyway, on screen now are my rankings for the year. As you can see, the top of the list is a David Lynch short film in which he interrogates a monkey. If you haven't seen it, go on to Netflix right now and look up What Did Jack Do? Because it's delightful. But this one's sitting second right now. It's great. Like I said, you should go watch it. And, yeah, hopefully we'll start getting some like, fantastic movies soon, though. Because I'm kind of dying with all the other shit movies I have to watch. Please send help. Please. Anyway, thank you all for watching. If you like the video, subscribe, please. It helps us so much. Like the video, comment. Let me know if you like this movie. I would like to know, because some of the other people I talked to about it, I didn't see it with anyone, but some of the other people I talked to about it didn't really vibe with it as well. And it may just be that I like storytelling that isn't so linear, and I like stuff that jumps around, and I find it easy to follow, but it might have not been easy to follow for you. So please let me know what you thought. And as always, please go and tell your grandmother. Bye!